For the Carry-On project, it comes out of a whole line of these multi-artist projects that I organize. And so you kind of have to look at it in that kind of linear sense. But this one's actually really bare, because like for this, what I did was I asked a bunch of artists to give me artworks in which I would literally just carry to the gallery across the border into Holland. And that my contribution, that my part of the project was like my carrying of it. There was just me distributing the works to Holland. And it was like this kind of movement of which almost, I was using the term like framework, in which I set up a kind of framework and that the works could kind of exist within, in which I defined like the limitations and like the parameters of this framework. So like, and for this project, it was like, these works are gonna move from Brooklyn to Holland in a carry-on luggage on an airplane, not checked in, carried on, and like I'll always be with it. The idea was that they would be carried with me, that they would be subjected to like the airline restrictions or customs or what happens when you go over international borders, but also that the works are like carried with me and with my body, that they never leave me, that there's a kind of responsibility, a kind of baggage to that I only carry what I can bring. It's not 3 bags or 4 bags, it's just 1 bag of various works. And all the works in the show reflected different ideas that were at play in the project, whether it was movement across borders, terrorism, safety, or just movement in general and travel in general. The criteria for the Carry-On project was that the works would relate to the show in some sense. And that, so some of them, like for example, Paul Branca painted new paintings of knives that he painted with, I think it was metallic silver oil paint. I don't really know that much about, I think it's Old Holland paint actually. I don't know. But so he made something, he painted that for the project because it was knives and you can't carry on knives, and he used metallic paint with the idea that potentially it's going to show up in the x-ray when it goes through security. But then, for example, like someone else, like Penelope Umbrico, had these sunsets from Flickr project that she would do, where she would ask people to carry them with them when they fly, when they go over borders. So that work already existed, and I asked her if I could use a variation of that work in this project. My bag was mic'd with a contact mic for a sound piece, and that was the only time I was a little scared that security would think it was a bomb, but it was kind of interesting because it just went right through and I wasn't even stopped. And not even, I had like a pancake wrapped in foil that my friend's mom made for me, and that I would think that I would actually get stopped for that because it was wrapped in metal, but I don't know, maybe x-rays are a little stronger now. So, but there weren't any hassles for this project, or any, I mean, it was heavy and I had to carry it. In one of the pieces in the show, the rarely seen Boss John Otter film, I do refer, I mean, it's about Boss John Otter, who was a Dutch artist. So and the reason why it's actually a really old work, but I thought I would bring it back because I am in Holland. So I thought it'd be a good place to exhibit it. I use the internet and computer a lot in my work, not because, or I don't know, it's more because of, I guess, just like the society I live in, or like it's like the environment I live in this kind of information society, whatever you want to call it. I guess I came to where I am now through a photographic practice that goes back to like even probably before I was a teenager. But I don't really show my photographs a lot, but I do carry a camera around with me, and it's mostly as a form of like note-taking, in a form of just like looking at the world, and I'm not really thinking critically about photography or image making. So in the exhibition, there's a photograph I shot in Cornwall a few years ago of the location. It's interesting because it's very specific in the context of the exhibition because it was shot at the location where Boston Otter was sailing to in 1975. Like a few years ago, I made this piece that used a PayPal button that was for $1, where if you send me $1, stupid idea, but basically I would think about you for a minute and to convey, the way that was conveyed was that I would send you an email when I started and send you an email when I stopped. That piece was like really jokey, but also really serious in the sense that, one, it's obviously it's like I was using PayPal and I was like, pay me this, pay me that, which was like kind of a stupid idea. Like I because it's like then it's about money, but I don't want it to be about money. But it was more of the joke of using a PayPal button and having these ridiculous things. And so, but then that piece was actually trying to redirect attention, where it's like usually online you create content in which people are attentive to. I don't even know if I use that word right. Where in that sense, I try to switch that around and turn the attention back on them.